I have the center seat pyramid finished. I got 3 coats of paint on it. I was able to, take it into the house each night and put it by the fireplace for it to dry. I did make one change on this Tempest base. When I went to find screws, I couldn't find anything in the length that I needed to get down underneath. Remember, we had those 2 strips about 1 inch thick down below the seat here to act as base for the screws to hold into. But I did find that I could take, because the Tempest people make this plate solid plastic through here, I was able to take a 3/8 inch drill and then just by hand, never use a power tool this, because if you use a power tool, those bits would, the twists on the bit would just grab it and go right immediately through. So, but I took it by hand and then just twisted it by hand about 2 turns, and that gave me about a, I don't know, a 1/4 inch hole. So I countersink the screws, so I got them in place, and so that's all firm and good. And now I can set my seat on it. So now I've already, let me reset up again, show you what I've done on locating the foot brace, the pedals for the rudder control. Well, actually, the motor and rudder control on this hull. When I initially set in the seat earlier, I'd held the foot brace up against the hull here just by hand to give me an idea where my foot was going to rest, and the ball of my foot comes up at this height, and it'll mount just a hair underneath the inside of the rail, the inside rail. And now I want to get inside, and I've got some cords I've attached to this. I want to be able to be sure that I have the range of motion I need on this, and so I've got them clamped in place, and I'll jump in the hull now and then start placing it. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to put this initial setup, I wanted to make certain that the pedals were within range that I need, but also if somebody shorter set in it or somebody a little bit taller, that I'd be able to, be adapted without having to have a string of holes through the side of the freshly painted hull. I have the hull tied down with some of the cords onto the rails under the workbench I've got here. And so now let me get this set up. Hopefully I won't be pulling it. This one needs to get a little higher. Okay. Okay. Shouldn't need any more of that than what I've got now. That's about centered up. So now I can go ahead and bore some holes in the hull. I'm going to go through with a through hull as opposed to using the little plates that you would epoxy on with the studs. I probably could have used them, but I have so many boats, whitewater kayaks and canoes that are drilled through the hulls, and sea kayaks that I'm not worried about. They got a nice big washer on them, and it's way up above the water line, so I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, it's not like if the water gets up to there, it's going to be over the top, so I'm wet no matter what I do. But I got the seat in. I'm fairly comfortable. I don't feel I'm too high. Also, I have another sandbag and padded, with some soft stuff on it so I don't mar up the hull. But if you're doing this, make sure you have the hull tied down and it's not flopping around on you and scratching up the bottom. So let me go ahead and get out the drill and put some holes in this and then make this thing permanent. Another thing just too is, once I decided that I have this mark, I've got a mark right here which will be the hole that I'll drill underneath here. But this is where we come back to our station cut line marks that we put in when we the very first thing we did when we finished doing the cutout. We took our saw, a hacksaw or something, and put little marks at every foot mark on the stations that you laid out your grid on. You use these to line up the hull. So once I decided that that was 5 inches past this station line cut mark, which is probably about the 8-foot line, I was able to go to the other side and then do that one too, to make certain that both pedal housings are lined up evenly. Another thing I did too is I found some scrap wood about 3/4 inch wide that I'll put below the bottom of, you can see it sticking out right here, between the bottom of the rail and the top of the bracket, so I know that it's even all the way across. And I was also got out my that special self-centering bit we got. I don't think it's being long enough, but at least I can pilot a hole to locate. Nope, didn't go through. Okay, but now I can get a longer drill bit and then drill this out. So we'll come back after I get that done and I mount the first side. Well, I got everything's in permanent. So now I just need to more than enough. It should be, you know, somebody a lot longer or taller and somebody a lot shorter would still be able to have more than enough range through here. So I'll probably mark up in the plans my where these were initially set up, but you'll want to fit your own because you may or may not do this. So Santa came early, and the electric paddle came in today. Got the new motor and the battery paddle, which Joe forgot to bring along with chargers. So it'll be a few days, but that's good because I was trying to decide how I was going to, now that I got the pedals in, I wanted to find, I couldn't remember or think of how I was going to run the cables. I was looking at some different clips and P-clips, and that just doesn't look right. And so I finally settled on a little wooden block with a hole in it. I can glue it to the rails, stain it first because everything's painted, stain it on the 3 sides and on the ends, and then epoxy it to the rail underneath, and it'll stay there. Also, I'm debating whether or not to put I found some plastic tubing. I got a piece here, 1/4 inch tubing that I can stick down the inside of the hole and it support the cord along the way from here to the motor. But I was also I found today some 1/8 inch cord that's used for aftermarket replacement on your say like your chainsaw or your little Echo leaf blower or whatever. It's an 1/8 inch cord, doesn't stretch, and so I'm going to use that as opposed to cables, at least temporarily, until I decide what I'm going to do. But if I do the cable, then I'll need the plastic tubing to run the cable inside of. But finished everything up. You can hear the battery charger running in the background. Got the electric paddle mounted. Got the rudder cables set up. Put some little like locking screw closing clamp, well, not clamps, carabiners. And then I used on the 1/4 inch small engine starting cord because it has very low stretch. I use that as my cable as opposed to doing cables. And then they run inside of a plastic tube in these little blocks that I made. I'll give you a little closer detail in a second. But I used my death grip loop on the ends here so I can adjust, you know, the cables. I got the front pegs locked in place now so I can tension these guys, and I don't have to worry about these things slipping because the death grip loop does not. So these are the little blocks that I epoxied with Gel Magic on the bottom of the rails here, and basically they're just little blocks of wood with a 1/4 inch hole drilled down the middle to slide the plastic tubing in. And everything seems to work pretty good. Right now I've got these guys locked in place so I can set the tension on the cords. And here's that little screw together carabiner that I put in. I got to take the tags off now, but then here is my death grip loop on the end to make it adjustable. And it holds. I haven't had one slip yet. And this is the little electric paddle motor with this little prop. And then if you hit any obstructions in the ground, it'll kick up. Probably if you hit the pedal's hard enough, it should probably lift it up too. I haven't tried that out on the another one I had with just a temporary thing. It would lift it right out of the water if you pushed them really hard both ways. But with the motor running, it should keep it down in the water. We'll find out on the next go around here. And there you can see the little blocks as they go down along the hull sides, down into the pedals. This is one of those scenes that I sometimes find are very rare at the Red Barn. An empty workbench. Oh well, let's see where the boat's went to. Well, there she sits. We got her outside now, sitting on some old kayak carrier that I had years and years ago from my old sea otter. We're ready to go to the lake now. It wasn't that heavy to, like I said, 47 pounds without the seat in it, and it was really easy to get it in and out of the hull, so it's real easy to pull along. And I might have to move the wheels back. Well, no, there we go. Got a nice carrying pace, so now I can go down to the lake, plop her in the water, and see how she does. I've got a couple pieces of tape on the transom here to protect the finish from the electric paddle, but I'll put a little piece of wood up there. I've got a couple screws that go through to hold the bracket or a block on the inside to secure the motor to. But really interesting to see how this thing sets in the water. To the lake.